In the face of a worldwide pandemic, Taiwan has actively lent a helping hand to the world. Taiwan Global Anti-COVID-19 Pavilion. In this website, we've created an anti-epidemic products and solution providers section where you can find information about suppliers or any particular business solutions. This section will help you reach out to more than 2,000 Taiwanese companies who can aid in your fight against the pandemic. In these videos, companies and experts discuss the latest innovations to help combat the pandemic. In this section, we've put at your disposal the contact information of 20 Taiwanese top medical institutions. We also inform you about the main strategies used in Taiwan to effectively control and stop the spread of the virus. So please be sure to bookmark and share this website. And remember to follow us on Facebook for our latest updates.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to the 2021 EEN Taiwan, German, Czech Healthcare Forum and Matchmaking event. The event is organized by the Bureau of Foreign Trade and TAITRA, co-organized by Enterprise Europe Network, ZENIT, and Czech Taiwanese Business Chamber. We are honored to have speakers from Taiwan, Germany, and Czech Republic to share their experience and knowledge of innovative medical technologies and the market trend with us. To begin the event, we would like to invite the Executive Director, Mr. Cho, from the organizer TAITRA, to deliver his remarks. Mr. Cho, please.
Chair of EEN Healthcare, Mr. CARMONA SCHNEIDER. Distinguished speaker, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to our friends from Europe and good afternoon to our friends in Taiwan. On behalf of TAITRA, the Taiwan External Trade Development Council, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 EEN Taiwan-German-Czech Healthcare Forum and Matchmaking. This event is organized by the Bureau of Foreign Trade, TAITRA, EEN Taiwan, and co-organized by EEN ZENIT and the Czech Taiwanese Business Chamber. TAITRA is a leading non-profit trade promotion organization in Taiwan, supported by the government and the various industry associations. We have a 64 overseas office to help foreign businessmen to find a partner in Taiwan. We are the organizer of the Medical Taiwan Trade Show, in which new Western products and technology are presented. The exhibition provides the opportunity to meet with a professional and combine the knowledge and find a business conductor for the future. We are delighted that our co-organizer, the chair of EEN Healthcare, Mr. CARMONA SCHNEIDER, has led a delegation of EEN sector group healthcare to attend the 2019 Medical Taiwan and head EEN Healthcare Group meeting during the trade show time. For the past years, Taiwan and European Union have a close trade relationship. In 2020, Taiwan remained the EU's 14th global trade partner and the fifth in Asia. The EU was Taiwan's fifth trading partner. Bilateral trade is reaching 64.9 billion euro. The main trading products between Taiwan and European Union include semiconductor, electronic equipment, transport equipment, and medicinal preparation. The main export products of the medical sector are diabetes products, medical assistive device, and optical products. As an aging society become a global reality, and the COVID-19 pandemic has created a significant challenge, we realize that developing strategy to support the entire healthcare sector is the most important thing for every country. Using the intelligent solution to reshape healthcare is the future. During today's forum, we will focus on innovative medical technology, from medical device to therapy to the smarter healthcare sector in Taiwan and in Europe. That change our lives and the healthcare environment. EEN Taiwan is pleased to invite field expert and enterprise from Taiwan, Germany, and the Czech Republic to share their experience and knowledge of innovative technology trends. Today, we have two experts, Dr. Minze Wang, the Deputy General Director of Biomedical Technology and Device Research Laboratory from the Industry Technology Research Institute, and Rudiger Müller, the founder and the CEO of German consulting firm Unternehmung Spilaten. They will share their insight of world medical industry. We have 5 speakers from leading companies in the medical and the healthcare sector. 2 from Taiwan. They are Mr. Jason Miao from iMedTech Co. Limited and Mr. Frederick Xu from CARMONA Medical. 2 from Germany, Mr. J. Sigmeyer from Aquandas GmbH, and Mr. Fabian Thiemer, founder and the CEO of Medical Cooling, and Ivan Fubuska, CEO of Mindepex from the Czech Republic. They will share valuable experience and seizing market trends in this industry. To conclude, I hope that you will gain new perspective and develop innovative solution to the new normal challenge we are facing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cho. And now let's welcome the Chair of EEN Healthcare, ZENIT, Mr. Juan CARMONA-Schneider, to share a few words. Mr. CARMONA-Schneider, please.
Many thanks to the EEN Taiwan, to TAITRA for making this event, Taiwan-German-Czech Healthcare Forum and Matchmaking, possible. Unfortunately, in these difficult times, it was not possible to meet at Medical Taiwan in June as planned. I'm all the more grateful for this virtual event. As chair of the healthcare sector group of the Enterprise Europe Network, I can say and thank you that TAITRA has been a very active member of my sector group over the past years. Actually, I can say the most active Enterprise Europe Network partner outside Europe. This is evidenced by the fact that the medical healthcare brokerage event, Taiwan, had 18 participants, the largest non-European delegation and the 5th largest overall. I'm looking forward to today's forum and matchmaking and wish all participants every success.
Thank you, Mr. CARMONA-Schneider. We all appreciate the support from Mr. Cho and Mr. CARMONA-Schneider to facilitate this event. We strongly believe that it will further enhance the bilateral cooperation between Taiwan and Europe. The first presentation comes from the Deputy General Director of Biomedical Technology and Device Research Laboratories, Industrial Technology Research Institute, Taiwan, Dr. Wang Minze, to present status and trend of Taiwan's healthcare industries. Dr. Wang, please.
Hello, everyone. It is my great pleasure to share with you the status and the trend of Taiwan's healthcare industry. This is today's agenda. I will cover Taiwan industrial environment overview and also the healthcare industry status, and also to conclude. Taiwan is located at the southernmost point of Northeast Asia in the center of the East Asian island arc and on the western edge of the Pacific Ocean. Taiwan is not only a crucial Asia-Pacific trade and logistic hub, but also a major strategic base. I've listed here some of the key indicators for your reference. Why Taiwan matters? There are 4 major key points. First, Taiwan as an Asia-Pacific hub. Second, Taiwan has a sound environment and good infrastructure. Third, strong industrial clusters. And finally, government healthcare policy promotion. I would like to elaborate on these 4 key points for you. First of all, Taiwan as an Asia-Pacific hub. As you can see from this graph, Taiwan is located centrally in the Asia-Pacific, continental America across the Pacific to the east, Japan to the north, mainland China to the west, and also emerging markets of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations to the south. So it has excellent position for linking the Pacific, Asia-Pacific, and global markets either by sea or by air. Secondly, for sound environment and the infrastructure, here are some of the rankings Taiwan received from various sources. Some of the number 1 ranking includes macroeconomic stability, healthcare systems, medical technology, and environmental risk of investments. Others include biopharmaceutical innovation, index of economic freedom, world competitiveness, global entrepreneurship, and these are all ranking high among the competitors in Asia. So Taiwan has one of the best healthcare systems in the world, according to a number of international healthcare index ranking. The main reason is our national health insurance scheme, which provides universal and affordable health coverage and care to all residents in Taiwan, with patients enjoying easy access to a comprehensive range of heavily subsidized and high-quality medical care and facing few limits on their choice of healthcare providers or doctors. The level of public satisfaction with NHI is consistently high. For the medical technology, the doctors and physicians in Taiwan are very well trained, in addition to providing world-first treatments and surgeries. Taiwan has a sterling reputation for heart transplants, hip replacements, eye care, dental care, rehab, and cosmetic surgeries. As you may know, Taiwan is the first country to perform a successful heart transplant in Asia, in addition to a successful rate of 99% in coronary angioplasty and the standing procedure. Third, Taiwan has strong industrial clusters. The industrial clusters is the backbone of Taiwan's economy. Taiwanese companies are clustered in science and industrial parks that have evolved in a particular region and which are engaged in manufacturing or servicing provision involving special local products with a particular historic or cultural significance or uniqueness, making use of local materials, natural resources, traditional resources, techniques, and local resources. Here I point out 5 major medical clusters. From the north, we have a National Biotechnology Research Park. And in Hsinchu, we have a Hsinchu Science Park and the Hsinchu Industrial Park. In central Taiwan, we have a Central Taiwan Science Park, also Southern Taiwan Science Park, and the Pingdong Agriculture Biotech Park. The biomedical industry is a priority focus as part of the government's 5+2 Innovative Industrial Program. Finally, the government's healthcare policy provision. Here you can see the 2030 vision of Taiwan, including 6 core strategic industries. And that includes the comprehensive ecosystem, big data in healthcare, interdisciplinary innovation, comprehensive epidemic prevention, and international collaborations. And all these are aimed to connect to global markets. And in order to solve and to face the global challenges of aging populations, digital transformation, and the climate change. As you can see, biotech and the medical technology is one of the 6 core strategic industries in Taiwan. Now I'd like to share with you the status and trend of Taiwan's healthcare industry. Taiwan's healthcare industry involves 4 major areas. First one is applied biotechnology. Second one is pharmaceutical manufacturing. The third one is medical devices. And the last one is healthcare services. This graph shows you the Taiwan's healthcare industry revenue and the rapid increase every year. And among them, medical devices industry becomes the fast-growing sector in Taiwan with 6.5% CAGR. This is the status of Taiwan's medical devices industry involving revenue, number of companies, export values, import values, and also domestic market size. As you may know, due to the limited size of Taiwan's market, domestic medical device market makers rely on exports for around 60% of their revenue. And in recent years, the government has endeavored to move the medical device sector up to the value-added chain. This is another graph to show you that the aging of Taiwan society has resulted in an increased demand for technologies such as assistive devices, bone implants, which along with the increased orders of glucose meters and test strips. And these are some of the major drivers for the Taiwan medical device revenue growth. The future trend of Taiwan's healthcare industry involves several areas. First one is the digital health area. As you know, digital health is rapidly being realized as the future of healthcare, and Taiwan is well placed to lead the development of digital health innovators, thanks to Taiwan's strength in ICT technology and manufacturing, as well as a world-class healthcare system. The other 2 areas that Taiwan is focusing on includes the precision medicine. Precision medicine is a growing area of interest in Taiwan due to its potential to improve clinical outcomes. Second one is for the long-term care. Taiwan is projected to reach a level of a super age society by 2025. Therefore, all these areas are important development areas for Taiwan's healthcare industry. For digital health, as you can see from this flow chart, normally we move from health promotion to disease prevention to disease diagnosis, disease treatment, and also finally to nursing and rehab. There are many ICT technology can be applied to this field, including IoT, blockchain, 5G technology, robots, AI, 3D printing, cloud computing, VR, AR, or MR, big data, and all these are important components of digital health, and these will be incorporated into the healthcare industry. So the global digital transformation trend offers a significant market opportunity for Taiwan to help take healthcare to the next level. And the trend is attracting a growing number of Taiwanese technology companies to diversify into developing innovative smart medical devices that leverage new technology. Here are some of the examples of recent success in Taiwan's digital health industry. First one is CMUH Hospital Group. The China Medical University Hospital has collaborated with EverFortune AI, a local medical AI startup, to develop a variety of medical AI-assisted applications, including bone age analysis, breast cancer identification, liver fibrosis assessment, and atrial fibrillation detection. And these have been implemented at the CMUH's AI outpatient service to provide efficient medical diagnosis on site. Secondly, new AI-based system makes brain tumor diagnosis more efficient. 2018, Taiwan AI Labs, a privately funded research organization, collaborated with the Taiwan Taipei Veteran General Hospital to develop DMETs and AI-based automatic brain tumor diagnosis system that leverages medical images for use in clinical practice. The new technology has helped to significantly reduce the time required for brain tumor diagnosis from the more than 30 minutes in the past to around 30 seconds. Finally, the new smart tool enables early diabetic retinopathy screening. In 2019, Taiwan's Industrial Technology Research Institute, ITRI, a government-sponsored R&D organization, collaborated with major hospitals in Taiwan, developed an AI-based diagnosis system for the early detection of diabetic retinopathy, a condition that can cause blindness if left untreated. The technology is installed in a smart fundus scope to allow doctors to lead to early diagnosis of the disease. So these are some of the recent success stories I'd like to share with you. Finally, I would like to conclude from 4 key areas. Taiwan is an Asia-Pacific hub. You have seen from the previous these slides that Taiwan has a great strategic location as your company's outpost in Asia. And Taiwan's wonderful national health insurance scheme and accumulated database, in addition to the excellent medical expertise, plus world-class ICT capabilities, with the help of concentrated 5 major biomedical clusters with over 2,000 companies to service as technical support and also production collaborations. Finally, all these are funded on the Taiwanese government's long-term policy support and the policy commitment. With all these factors together, I feel that Taiwan is your best healthcare partners in Asia. Welcome to Taiwan. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wang. And now let's invite Mr. Ludwig Müller, the founder and CEO of Unternehmensberatung, to share ways to conquer the German hospital market with us. Mr. Müller, please.
Yeah, good morning to everybody, or good afternoon to everybody from Northern Bavaria in Germany to our little webinar, Ways to Conquer the German Hospital Market. I will talk about the market in Germany for the hospitals. It's nearly the same. We will talk about the nursing homes, but especially we talk about hospital. Do you know who I am? I'm 20 years of experience in the hospital market. I was 10 years head of purchasing in a public hospital group. Since 2012, I have my own business, one-man business. I'm working together with hospitals to reduce their costs, to optimize the process. I make interim management for hospitals. At the other side, I work together with companies, could be German companies or foreign companies from all over the world who want to go to sell their products in Germany. I help them to understand the market, how can you address your information to the various target groups, and help to understand and convince the hospital purchasing in Germany. A few information about the market size in Germany. Germany is data from 2019. There we have total sales nearly 35 billion in Germany. In Germany, or for the German companies, in nearly 12 billion euro domestic sales in Germany. That's the market for the companies if they go to the German market. It's different from the hospitals. It's different from the companies. The largest market are the typical products we are used in the operation halls or in the different departments of the hospitals, like oncology, surgery, cardiology, and so on and so on. How big is the market in Germany? We have in Germany nearly 1,900 hospitals. They are decreasing more and more for the last 20 years. We expect in Germany that in the next 5 years we have less than more hospitals. I think we go to in the direction to 1,700. We have to wait. What are the things after Corona? Do we need more hospitals or less hospitals? I think after Corona, after this discussion of this Corona has ended, I think we discuss in Germany more and more than like before Corona that we have too much hospitals. And if you see in Germany, we have a decreasing of the non-profit hospitals, of the public hospitals, and we have an increasing of the private hospitals. We have different private hospital groups in Germany. For example, the biggest one is Helios. It's called Helios Kliniken. Then we have Asklepios or other private hospitals groups. This is the first big difference in the purchasing process and how the supplier has to work with the hospitals. The purchasing process in the hospital, which is private, is a little bit different from the profit or the public hospitals. But this I talk about in a few minutes. What are the main problems regarding the procurement or purchasing in the hospitals? We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of things to do. We have to order products. We have to check the bills. We have to talk to the suppliers. We have to talk to the doctors. We have to talk to the nurse. And though we have a lot of operative work, these processes, this work, have leave too little time for the strategic work with the supplier or something else. So that's a big problem for companies who will go in the German market because if the head of purchasing has no time to talk to you, or the chief doctor has no time to talk to you, or is not interested to work to you, it's very, very difficult to go in the market. But is there the chance? No, that's not no problem. But we have to remember different steps, different milestones to go in the market. Another thing is that the cost reductions are not implemented across the board. Always we talk about with the doctors in my different projects with different hospitals, it's always the same thing. If you talk about to the doctor or you talk to the doctor, he said, yeah, we make it, we change the supplier, we reduce the number of products, of medical devices and so on. But at the end of the road or at the end of the discussion, then if it's going in the practice, if it's going to work, sometimes the doctor says, no, I will only have 80% or 70% of the new supplier. I need my special products. If we change the supplier, the patient will die, and so on and so on. And these discussions, these things are very important for the supplier to know, because his job is to discuss with the supplier, with the head of purchasing, but probably has to discuss with a chief doctor or chief nurse in the same way. It's not only in the most hospitals we have the problems that the processes need to improve are not improved within the whole organization. That's the big difference between the private and the other hospitals. In the normal way, the private hospitals are very strange. They have very strange processes. They have a clear definition of their process. They have a clear definition of the supplier, which supplier can work with my hospital, which medical device is used. That's completely or nearly completely other in the private or in the public, sorry, or in the other hospitals. And then the end, we always discuss that before that the doctor says, no, I only 70 or 60%. I will together with a new supplier, or I will reduce my number of suppliers or products equal if the economic management said, okay, we have to reduce our costs, because at the end the doctor says, what I say is important. I am the doctor, I make the operations, I know my patients, and not you as an economic or head of purchasing. And that's the normal discussion between economic medical department in the hospital. But this is getting more and more better in the last years, because nearly all hospitals in Germany, equal if private or other hospitals, have a big pressure to reduce the costs, to optimize the process, to optimize the organization after Corona more and more. Together we have too many different products in hospitals. That's increasing. This problem is increasing in the last years more and more, but it's existing already. We have too many different products. We have too many suppliers, and we have too many people involved in the individual order. Everybody will discuss. If we go to he makes his purchase for his private home, then he thinks, okay, they can discuss the purchasing process in the hospital too. And So we discuss with the head of purchasing discuss with the head of controlling, the head of controlling discuss with the head of with the chief doctor or the chief nurse or someone else, and that it's sometimes very, very difficult and very strange at the end, because it takes a long time. You can get a decision. That's a little bit different between private and public. Private, more strange process, more clear definition, what is allowed and what is not allowed. What does the decision-making process look like? At the end or at the beginning, we have the doctor or the care provider, or we have the chief nurse or something else. And at the other side, we have the procurement or the economic department. And at the normal way, the doctor comes to me and says, okay, you have new flyers, you have product information, you have offers. He was on a meeting or a workshop or something else, and he get informations from a company, could be a company which is listed in the hospital already, and now he has, supplier has new products or new product groups, or it could be completely new supplier, for example, from foreign countries, which will go to the German market, because the German market, hospital market for medical device, this is a third biggest in the world after Japan, USA and Japan, and then it's very interesting for the foreign companies. And then at the end, the head of purchasing says, you know, we have existing suppliers, we have existing contracts, we have another supplier which have the same product that you want to have from a new supplier. And then we have a discussion, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right. And at the end, in the most of the hospitals, you have a central procurement committee. There is sitting the doctor, the chief doctor, the management, the head of purchasing, the head of controlling, the medical technic department, the IT department, and so on. And then we make a purchase decision, yes or no. Will we change our supplier? Will we change our product? Or will we get a new supplier? Will we get a new, completely new product which is not mentioned in Germany already, or a new supplier which is not in German market already? But we have a lot of frameworks. The framework number one is a GPO. The next slide I will show you. GPO, German Purchasing Organizations, will explain in the next slide. We will change the supplier, will we go to a new product? How are the costs? How is the reimbursement? It could be, and I'm not a friend, not typical for a head of purchasing, only to talk about the price. I'm not only buying or purchasing a product from a supplier. It must not always be the cheapest. It has the most economic product for me. If it's more expensive than another product, and then I can optimize my process, reduce my costs for personnel, something else, or optimize my process in the operation halls, for example. And then I can make more operations, could be. That's very, very important too. And then the other side is it useful if I work together with a supplier? For example, he has a completely new product, and if I work together with them, I can say, hey, we have a new product. We are the only hospital in the area which working with this product. Please come to me. Have an impact on the patient care or the fixation, and that let's said before has an influence as a process optimization. Where is the influence, or what influence the purchase decision of the customer of the hospital? Is it the price? Always the price? I say no. is a security of supply. And in Germany, I think all over the world, for 2 years ago was not the biggest problem, but after Corona or during Corona, it was a very, very big problem to get my products, to get my clothes, to get my masks, to get my disinfectants and so on. Is it important for a head of purchasing made in Germany? Has to be a company from Germany? I say no, it's not important, but not the most important argument. Very important is your quality. Very important is supplier relationship management. How will you work in Germany? Will you work with your own company? Will you have an influencer in Germany? Will you work together with a logistic? Will you work together with a distributor? That's a lot of questions we have to discuss, or you have to discuss before you go to the German market, but it's very important. It's not the best price, not the best product. I think the most important thing is the supplier relation management to the hospitals, to the key decision maker in the hospitals, to the doctors, to the head of purchasing and so on. That before we have talked about the German purchasing organizations, GPOs. 90 to 95% of the hospitals are member of these GPOs. Nearly simple. We have a triangle between hospitals, the GPO, and the supplier. The GPO makes 2 contracts. One contract to the hospital, that the hospital said, okay, I get the best prices from the supplier, which are working together with the GPO. And the hospital said, okay, I'm not dealing a price or something else, which supplier, which are listed with the GPO. The dealing of the price, make contracts, talking about price, talking about logistic, talk about reimbursement and so on and so on. That's the job from the contract between GPO and supplier. And in the daily business, GPO has nothing to do with the hospital. And then the hospital works together with the supplier, makes the order, gets the receipt and so on, gets the receipt and so on. We talked about the price. GPOs in Germany existing for, I think, 25 years. First job of them was that the small hospitals should get the same price that bigger hospitals. And now we talk about other things. We talk about logistic. We talk about other product groups like pharmacy or food or something else. But this is the construction in Germany for 90 to 95% of the hospitals, and plus we have private hospital groups like Sana or Helios, which are their own GPO. For example, there you cannot be a member only if you are a part of Sana or Helios, for example. The biggest one in Germany, Prospitalia, Sana, EJ Unico, Clinic Partner, Agikamed, EKK, PEG. The biggest one in Germany, I think the biggest are Prospitalia and Sana. EK Unico, it's a special GPO for university hospitals. What is important for you if you want to go to the German market? You have to make your customer successful. You have to help him to successful. It's make no sense to go to the German market and to say, okay, that's my price, that's my product, that's my quality. You have to help me to be successful, to reduce my costs, to optimize my profit, and so on. You have to learn together with your customer. Every hospital in Germany, I think it's all over the world, it's different. It depends how is the head of purchasing, how many people are in the purchasing department, what is the influence of the doctor, and so on and so on. Show your values, use social media. I'm a big friend. I work a lot via LinkedIn. I get my most contacts, national and international, via LinkedIn. I talk to the companies and yeah, we make Zoom or other calls, and that's very important because a lot of the head of purchases of the hospitals are a member in LinkedIn, for example, too. Very, very important to act value-based, not talking about your price. Please show me your value. Why should I work together with you? Why should I work together only with you? What is your advantage? What is your value? How do you work together with me? How can you help me? How is your relationship to me? Very, very important. The value and the relationship management, in my opinion, is the two key important things to work together with the German hospitals. Think about German doctors are rather conservative. We have at the moment the chief doctors. At the moment they're a little bit older, but in the next years we get the younger generation of German doctors, and then it could be it's more easy to go to talk to them. And at the end, what can I do for you? What is my job for the foreign companies? For the foreign companies, and then thank you very much for your attention. It would be end of the presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Müller. We really appreciate that you find the time in your busy schedule to participate in today's event. Following, we will have 5 international enterprises in the role to introduce the updated products. And now we would like to invite the enterprises from Taiwan. First of all, let's invite Mr. Jason Miao, Overseas Sales Director of iMedTech Co. Limited.
Hi everyone, my name is Jason Miao. I'm glad to represent iMedTech to introducing you our newest Smart City, Smart Hospital solution. First of all, let me briefly introduce for our company. iMedTech is a company that have the group of people from the IPC, IoT fields, that we are very familiar with the ICT technology and also the full experience at the digital healthcare. The company is founded at 2016, and right now we have global almost 100 employees at Taiwan and also China. Our major founders, they're including very strong, the EMS and IPC makers in Taiwan. And also, we have the telecom company invest us, so we have the very good resource to provide a complete digital health solution to the market. There are 3 major markets that we're focusing on. First, the smart hospital. We already have the experience install more than 2,000 smart wards at Taiwan since 2016. And second, we are focusing on some special institutions like the elderly center or some nursing care home. And finally, we would like to promote to the B2B2C market. And here's for the health promotion. And our company strength is including the very good, the Taiwan IPC, ICT, and IoT resource. And as you know, Taiwan is also very strong in the healthcare field. So we will combine these 2 of our core strengths as a package solution to the worldwide markets. And we wish to work with the distribution system integrator, help us to lending our service at the local market. In brief, our business model is like this. We consolidate those Taiwan very good hardware devices from the vital detection sensors, from the digital papers, from the telehealth solutions, and also our own ADC solution and robots. Moreover, we will add the software from the edge side to the cloud side, so become the complete solutions. On the other hand, we were introduced to the worldwide sales channels. We are starting in the South Asia 4 years ago, so we have already very good success case right there. And right now, we are very glad to introduce the market to the Middle East, Europe, and United States. So in this kind of business model, we will have the very good the positive innovation that more and more Taiwan, the good resource, will join us so we can provide very good intelligent solutions to the worldwide market. And what we can service at the smart hospitals, it's from outpatient to inpatient, and finally to the core of the hospital, operating room and ICU. And also they will extend to the CSSD for some logistics service using the robot, or the same service idea to choosing some of the package to the elderly center or the smart home. And later, I will choose some of our very remarkable solutions introduced to you. The first one is the digital papers. As you know, the digital paper, just like the Amazon Kindle, is a very easy to read and with a very low power consumption, place and use. So it can be very easily to deploy at the hospital, replace like the traditional door sign or bedside information. Whenever the patient moving or move out, usually the nurse will need to handwriting those information to avoid any misunderstanding. However, it's waste time and also extra workload for the caregiver. So we use a digital paper to replace this kind of function. Our system will connecting with the cloud system. When the patient is moving, the EMR or his system will push the data to the exactly bed. So the nurse no need to replace to handwriting for those informations. And all the devices with the battery. So as you can see, like the pictures, it's just place and use. You don't need to do the extra wire. So for some very traditional old building, it's very high price to do the power wiring. And also you need to apply for the different certificate. So the e-paper just a good solution to do this kind of the scenario. Moreover, at the nighttime, the traditional telemedicine system is using the traditional LCD IPC, but it will have the backlight to have the light pollution. So the patient they were sleeping at nighttime will usually affected by the LCD monitor. However, digital paper will totally have the no backlight. So even at the nighttime, there's no light pollution. On the other hand, we also deploy this at United States, use a 42-inch touch function, EPD, to replace a traditional handwriting eraser whiteboard. So it provides the communication place for the patient, for the family member, and the caregiver. They can leave the message right there. They can use it to express their pain feeling. And also, all the activity will be collected by the log file and upload to the system. We already deployed more than 1,000 pieces in Taiwan, and we believe it will be the future trend to increase the patient experience and reduce the workloading for some caregivers. The next one is a telehealth and the vital sign station. Due to the COVID, everybody is taking the body temperature right now. However, if you didn't record it, it's not able to use those big data anymore. So we have the kiosk station can deploy at the hospital or the elderly center. They were including the blood pressure meter, the body temperature, the height scale, and the weight scale. So the patient go to the hospital, they can plug in their ID card and then starting for the parameter detecting. And all the data will also collecting to our HCC cloud and use the standard API connecting with the EMR. So when the patient go to see the doctor, there will no need to have the handwriting. All the data will be collecting to the EMR system. Moreover, for the people at home, we also have the simple home care vital kit. It's not like the standard, the blood pressure meter, because you see the traditional one, you need to press a button and the data will upload to the app or the cloud. However, our system design, you need to use the mobile phone, the app to control it and to collect all the data. So we'll make sure all the 100% data will be collected and uploaded to the system. Our vital sign kiosk is already deployed in Taiwan, in Thailand, and Vietnam, a lot of the success case. And right now we are improving the system to add the 4K, the visual and the audio communication. So it can really helping for the telecare environment. The next one I want to introduce is the ADC cabinet. It's using for some control medicine or high price consumable materials. So usually you will need to make sure who is using the medicine, just like the morphine, and how many pieces, how many doses you need to use, and where you can take the place and when. So all the devices will be all collecting at the ADC cabinet. But the system also connecting to the EMR. So the caregiver team, first they need to pass the authority. They use the ID card or even the facial recognition or the double confirm. For you access, you can scan the medicine order. Then the exactly medicine drawer and also this box will open to make sure the caregiver take the right medicine or return to the right place. This is very important for some control like the mental center and some of the pharmacy, because they need to control how soon those medicine is consuming so they can evaluation when they need to supply or how many pieces they need to supply. So it will be all automatically. The last one is the ICU, the COVID ICU medical device integration platform. As you know, there are a lot of the medical device at ICU, like the siren pump, the patient monitors. However, those devices have the different protocol. So we provide a single platform to collect all the data. So when the doctor or nurse, they come to the place, they can make sure the single dashboard collect all the data. So they can quickly to have the view, what's the patient status and what treatment they need to do. And of course, since we can collect the data, we will send to the cloud. And right now we are already connecting more than 250 different equipments. It covers almost 80% the equipments at ICU. And we believe it will be very good platform, especially at the COVID-19 room, because there's a lot of the equipment right there. So the caregiver team, they need to have the very simple platform to check all the data. So right now, we have more than 50 channel partners at worldwide, from South Asia to Middle East to Europe and United States. And we are sincerely hope to have more partners to work with us to using the very good, the Taiwan ICT technology and also our healthcare experience to provide the turnkey solution to the market. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Miao. Let's welcome Mr. Felix Xu, Senior Manager of CARMONA, Medical Products Co. Limited.
Hello, everyone. My name is Fred Xu. I'm from CARMONA. CARMONA is the company name, and karma, the word is what it means is whatever you give in life, you get in return. It comes from India. But the company itself, it was born in 1987 in Taipei, Taiwan. And so the headquarters is in Taiwan. We have 7 subsidiary offices in UK, in Spain, in India, in Malaysia, in Taiwan, in China, and Thailand. The product out of the factory marketed and exported to more than 40 countries. The factory is located in China, Taiwan, and Thailand. Another factory in India is halfway done. We expect to complete the factory next year. Over the 30 years, CARMONA product cares about the target group including the youth, the adult, and the elderly. CARMONA developed a broad range of products. The wheelchair is one of the primary products of CARMONA. People who need wheelchair, when they buy wheelchair, it's definitely not the most expensive wheelchair that is the best wheelchair. The best wheelchair is supposed to be the wheelchair that fit. So wheelchair fit or CARMONA fit, it goes through 4 variables. The fitting has to be the right budget, right price, has to be the right fitting in the medical need of the patient. It fit the people's body dimension, tall, short, a chunky one or skinny one. It fit the lifestyle. A broad range of product coming from CARMONA fall on these 3 product categories: manual wheelchair, power wheelchair, and power scooter. As far as the new technology, I'll talk about it in the slide later. CARMONA invests into the belief. What we believe is CARMONA offers the complete content to the 5 stakeholders. The 5 stakeholders work in the ecosystem, or let's say, well, the network, to help each other to deliver the useful information to the people in need. The 5 stakeholders, including the user itself, the caregiver, the person who pay the wheelchair, and the seller, the dealer, or the channel network, and the therapist. So we believe and we invest in this part. And does it working? Okay, well, take one case, for example. In the country, India, India is not very easy to do business with. They have the issues of the infrastructure. But however, CARMONA, in the last 30 years, we already, till today, we already is the #1 market share wheelchair manufacturer in India. We have more than 500 town presence in India, more than 1,500 channel partners, and more than 140 hospitals is buying the wheelchair product category from CARMONA. The Taiwan factory, the capacity is more than 2,000 per month. These are the photos of Taiwan factory and production line. The quality engineer, they believe every product, every outdoor wheelchair coming from CARMONA, it has to test under the extreme condition. That include the toughest terrain in the mountain and in the field. In Thailand, the production capacity is more than 10,000 units per month. These are the photo in Thailand factory. In China, we have the capacity even more. And the photo of China production line. CARMONA, throughout the world, we have 37 research and development engineer, high category engineers located in Europe and Asia. What we believe is the engineers and all of the employees in CARMONA work together to bring the study and the knowledge for the best wheelchair and the best product coming from Europe and transform the benefit of the product to Asia. So the production manager in Asia, who knows everything about production line and mass production, he or she can just come up with the product more affordable. So the people in need of mobility can benefit from a very good product and affordable. And gradually, when the product comes back to Europe, Europe user can benefit too. We have more than 7 presence, the branch office, and CARMONA is actually a real branding company worldwide. These are my co-workers, the CARMONA employees in India, UK, in Netherlands, in Taiwan, in Thailand, in Spain. So we are one company, and we have close to 1,000 employees. The 1,000 people, we all work in one team, work as a team. Well, these are the number, but it's not the number coming from the lottery. 0, it cannot be a lottery number. But every CARMONA employee is proud of the number. Number it represents, it has been more than 30 years, more than 45 countries as the product. For now, 4,500 dealers throughout the world working with CARMONA to market the product. More than 2 million wheelchair users with in need of mobility, they use the product of CARMONA. And 0, it means throughout the 34 years, there's no insurance claim. That means the product quality is one of the best in the world. Okay, I'm saying the new technology, the innovation. This is the innovative solution coming from CARMONA. It looks like a wheelchair, but it actually is not, isn't it? It's a little bit argumentary. But for my personal opinion, I do not see this is a wheelchair. I would rather see this is like a fictional character in the movie Star Wars, like R2-D2, 3PO, or someone say C-3PO. Yeah, it's about as adorable as the movie character. But it actually works very well, like your body. When the person getting old, he or she may not be disabled, they can still walk. But when they walk to the park, to the mountain, they have fun. They walk to the shopping mall, they have fun. They take this body with it. And when it comes to the evening time, when they want to walk back to the home, usually that comes to a problem because they are tired. They are extremely exhausted. So let the iBody, your body, take you home. You can sit on it, and iBody know how and where your home is and how to take you home. So you can just have an easy and comfortable ride back home, and no worry, and have the whole day fun. And this is innovative solution coming from CARMONA. If you have question about this solution, or you're interested in the solution, please, you're welcome to click to the URL, the website in carmona.com.tw, show on the slide. CARMONA has award coming from IF, coming from Red Dot, but the best award CARMONA ever had is the smile, coming from the children who is in need of mobility. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Xu. And now we would like to invite the enterprises from Germany. We would like to invite Mr. Gerd Siegmeier, Business Development Manager of Aquandas GmbH.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my presentation on Aquandas. I will present you in the next 10 minutes our company and show you something about new technology we offer to the market. My name is Gerd Siegmeier. I'm the Business Development Manager for Aquandas. So let me first introduce you to Aquandas. We are acting as a global OEM contract manufacturer, so we manufacture for customers their products. We own the processes, the customers own the products. Aquandas was founded in 2012 in the premises from the Technical University in Kiel, so we are an outsourced startup. We use certain infrastructure from the university, for example, the clean room. However, we have our own controlled instrumentation and manufacturing equipment and offices within the campus of the university. What we do actually is we realize innovative micro devices for and with our customers. So our position is actually to manufacture key enabling micro devices for major medical treatments. So what's the problem we are addressing? Well, as you all know, in the medical arena, actually the number of patients increases, the budgets go down, the people get more elderly, and therefore we need better and less traumatic therapies, and of course cheaper therapies and therapies with less complications. In order to do this and invent new products, of course, you need certain technologies. And these technology are the base for innovations. And currently, however, there are pretty good technologies out there: laser cutting, 3D printing, chemical etching, micromachining, flex circuit. So on its own, all these technologies are quite good and extraordinarily precise. However, when it comes to systems, in order to make, for example, innovative smart products, these you lose a lot of problems and precision throughout the additive processes in between various processes. Of course, costs at the end too. And this niche actually we are positioned on with our specific technology, which I will present you now. So in contrast to the existing technologies like lasering, Aquandas actually has its own additive fabrication process, which is based on microsystem technology. How is it executed? Well, we start with a wafer as a substrate, and on top of this wafer, actually we process by lithography very precise channels, tools, and then we sputter by macrotron deposition certain materials into these channels. And by wet chemical etching, we release these components from the in flat from the substrate and further process it, for example, by a heat treatment into a 3D micro device. The good thing and interesting thing, of course, is here you can manufacture specific materials from precision metals, precious metals to very biocompatible metals like titanium or nickel titanium, which actually we can process also in super elastic conditions. And by this technology, therefore, of course, you have a much more engineering space in order to achieve tighter tolerances, in order to process specific materials in small, pure, as well as alloys in a very specific condition. So we are actually active in three major areas, as you can see here. In biomedical engineering, we are active on the active implantation side, or bioelectronics. You can think of it like flex circuit technology. And as you can see here, we go a lot into major chronic diseases like eye ophthalmologic things, like cardiologic things, like neurologic things. Of course, also the super elastic condition of the technology gives you additional possibilities in order to address microtechnology applications in passive implants or tool applications. And then we have a big area which is actually smart actuators, sensors, and spring, which is also covered by industrial applications. For example, microvalves, for example, thermoactuation things, for example, drug delivery technology. The interesting thing here is we are with our technology really in a very attractive market position, because all these applications which we are dealing with our customers are high growth areas with a carriage growth rate of above 7%, compound annual growth rate. In contrast to classical manufacturing technology, this is a highly automized and specific technology. So you see it also on our leadership team, which is very small. In contrast, classical manufacturing requires a lot of highly man-powered applications. Well, on the top and on the bottom, you see the accumulative experience we have in manufacturing technologies and applying technologies and developing products. So we are having quite an experienced team. So here now the question is, what can you do with it? And I just prepared two general slides for you to show you here, for example, an innovative field which is neurovascular applications. It covers embolics, clot management, thrombectomy devices. Next generation devices here have a very high growth potentials of about 15%. So the market is growing. It's nearly about $1 billion in size. And in the middle, you see kind of like the most innovative areas where companies and innovators think about. So they want to, of course, get a lower price for their components. They want to be more flexible. They want to be more precise. They want to be smaller. And all this, of course, allows our technology. And on the right, you see an example of an integrated neurovascular device, a clot retriever with a protection device on the end. So we have a lot of possibilities with the technology. So finally, here you have the key application areas for the technology. Of course, as I explained, we deal with customized products, and therefore everything is confidential. However, I can show you and explain, of course, if you have seen here in the medical arena, we deal with neurovascular things, we deal with brain-computer interfaces, we deal with neurology applications, so Parkinson's disease, dementia, where future technology will be smart and use, for example, electronic structures in order to therapeutically address the patient. On the biotechnological side and pharmaceutical side, we're dealing on specific cell therapies with our customers. Transcription is a big area, as well as drug delivery, microneedles. And on the industrial side, we mainly deal with customers using the specific material conditions for microvalves, for watches, for microactuators, and of course for specific force and strain sensors, which can address a big strain area, which is impossible with classical strain sensing technologies. Yes. Finally, here's a very short summary you can see about our technology. So we offer a much bigger engineering space by miniaturization, by the freedom of design we offer to the customers with an additive technology, by integration and customization, by alloy engineering, specific materials in small and very precise conditions. And of course, it's a rapid prototyping technology, so the lead time from the CAD drawing to the final component takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Siegmeier. Let's welcome Mr. Fabian Taiwan, the founder and CEO of Medical Cooling.
Hello, I'm Fabian Temmer. I'm the CEO of Medical Cooling, and I would like to present my product to Taiwan because there's no digitalization without hardware, and CPUs clearly come from Taiwan because there's TSMC and all the manufacturing for computer components, which is the leading role, and we try to digitalize the ambulance. And so there's, of course, a big need and incentive for the connection. Also, Taiwan has one of the best healthcare systems in the world. So last year, I've been to Taipei and Taiwan through the Startup Talents Taipei program, where I met lots of local companies and universities, and where I could get a first impression of the Taiwanese healthcare system. That's really impressive because Taiwan is one of the few countries in the world where every patient is getting a state-of-the-art treatment. And so there's a big incentive to go to Taiwan because there all the people get treated in a decent way, which makes it a really good market. So we deal with cardiac arrest patients. So imagine this is your heart and suddenly it stops beating. With every second that's passing, the likelihood of brain damage increases, and survival rate right now is only 9.1%. So we work on cooling the brain below 36 degrees because this increases the chance of survival by 167%. So the survival rate increases to 24.4%. And the sooner the cooling starts, the better the outcome. This is why we already want to start the cooling in the ambulance. In Germany, only 1 in 4 patients is cooled. In a hospital, I think it's almost the same ratio in Taiwan. And in the ambulance, the cooling is even fewer. I haven't seen it in many places yet, and I couldn't find it in most countries. Also, it plays a role in childcare for babies with therapeutic hypothermia. Babies with hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy need therapeutic hypothermia to prevent brain damage for all of their lives. And we use this principle to cool the brain to 36 degrees, slow down the metabolism, so we can reduce the oxygen consumption, so we got less brain damage. We do this by using liquid oxygen, which we heat up with the ambient air to minus 23 degrees. And then the patient inhales it, and through the lungs, the blood gets cooled and the cold blood floating into the brain, and the brain is getting cooled. And to make it better integrated in the workflow, we replace the existing ventilator, and we also replace the vacuum pump and ECG, and we integrated 5G telemedicine and AI assistance. This is the pieces which we will definitely need from Taiwan. And as second new protective, we can also add argon and xenon besides hypothermia to even reduce brain damage more. And we also have the connectivity with incubators to provide cold air to babies and newborns. So at the end, we have got a 5-in-1 device for ventilating, cooling, and monitoring of the patients. We validated this already in pigs and animal trials, where we could show that we're able to cool down the brain safe and efficiently. And we've got trials in healthy humans where we could also show that the method is feasible and that's safe and that's cooling exactly the brain, so the cooling gets there where it's needed. And it's already published. We've got existing prototypes for the cooling part of the device, and we're now in the process of building the all-in-one device, including the 5G telemedicine and the assistance for the paramedics. Of course, we're not the only ones in the market. Of course, there are already telemedicine companies, there are already ECG companies, there are already hypothermia companies, and there are already ventilator companies. But what makes our product so unique is that we don't need any extra device on board. But we replace existing ventilators. There's no extra procedure necessary, as time is crucial, and the patient gets oxygen anyway, so we've got the perfect integration into the existing workflows. The market for ambulance ventilators is roughly $1 billion each year, and we hope to capture a relevant size of it. And the gas filling market with oxygen is around $500 million each year for the oxygen supply. We calculated this on the estimates that there are 384,000 ambulances worldwide. These are all ambulances we could find in all industrial countries that are somehow listed. And right now we're looking for an investment of 3 million euros to get our device certified for all major markets and to get it produced. Of course, we've got bigger teams than me. We've got a doctor in it, we've got sales, we've got design, we've got legal, and we've got finance. And of course, there are already lots of trials done with hypothermia general. There are trials for the kids schooling, there are trials for the post-resuscitation care where it's already established in the guidelines. And there are trials for stroke, there's initial trials for heat stroke where it makes lots of sense, and there's trials of cooling in TBI patients. Thanks a lot for your attention. I hope to be back in Taiwan soon.
Thank you, Mr. Tillman. And now we would like to invite the enterprises from Czech Republic. Let's welcome Mr. Ivan Hruška, the CEO of MindPax.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ivan Hruška and I'm a CEO of MindPax. Here is the content of my today's presentation. I will be talking about the digital therapeutic solution we are providing. I will start immediately with the vision. What we want to be. We want to be a leading provider of digital therapeutics solution for patients with bipolar disorder and major depression. Through that, we want to help millions of people around the globe and substantially decrease the costs of treatment for payers. Who we are. Company itself was developed from the Czech Republic. Author of the idea is Dr. Felix. You see his face on the left side. He is a 30+ years researcher in a clinical and research positions on the National Institute of Mental Health in Prague, and very successful author of 2 big studies, one for schizophrenia and the second one for bipolar diseases. And this part is in the area of bipolar diseases. Plus we have in the team the technical guy, Dušan Beblavý, who has a 15+ years experience in the software development of medical devices or digital medical solutions. And Eduard Beckstein, who has a 10 years experience in the area of data analytics, and he is leading our digital analytics team for this solution. The rest of the team is a management. All of us, we have a 10 to 30 years of experience in the area of common management. I personally manage the companies where I build them from the scratch to several $100 million of revenue around the globe. My last company was acquired by Hitachi for almost $9 billion 3 months ago. That's about us. Who are supporting us in our solution? I think it's important to state it. We have a key opinion clinicians worldwide, which are big supporters of our solution. One of them is Professor Correll, who is a top clinician in US on the Northwell Hospital in New York and chief of the clinic in the biggest German mental health hospital, Charité in Berlin. Professor Leucht is another top clinician at the University Hospital in Munich. Dr. Wolf is the owner of the chain of private clinic, which is helping us with the practical life of implementation of our solution. Just recently in US, where we are starting our activities, we obtained the acceptation of Professor Nierberg, who is a professor from Harvard in Boston, as a member of our advisory board. Professor Nierberg is a chief doctors on bipolar diseases in US, and he is a main supporter of any clinical activities related to the bipolar disorders, and we are very happy about this new development. What is the challenge in this illness? The graph on the right side is a simplification, but in the bipolar or major depression, but mostly in bipolar, you have a mania stuff where you don't sleep and you are very active, and you have a depression status where you are lying on the bed, sleeping, and you are not active and you want to die. We are trying by our solution decrease the amplitudes of mania and depression phases, and we are trying to decrease the frequency of these. The name for these waves are relapses. Major problem in these diseases are that the therapy decision or diagnostic decisions could take several years. It is very difficult on one session say that you are bipolar or you are major depression or you are schizophrenia or you are common depression. It means that we are trying to help them to we are trying to help doctors and clinicians to better provide the diagnosis, not to replace them, but help them. And we are trying to decrease the length of hospitalization. When the patient is in a depression state, it could take minimum 2 weeks, in many cases, 2 months of hospitalization to solve the problem of a deep, deep depression. Costs of that are enormous, and what is even worse, all of these illnesses, according to the World Health Organization, are increasing by almost 20% in the last 10 years. What is our solution about? We have a monitoring wristband which is collecting the actigraphy data. This is not the uniqueness of our solution. We only need to have a wristband which does not need to be recharged for minimum 6, optimum 12 months, because when the patient is in a depression and he will wear off the wristband, will be very difficult to put the wristband back. For that reason, we are not using the classical Apple Watch or Fitbit or other solutions. But this is not uniqueness of our solution. Uniqueness is in the questionnaire. We are using clinically validated questionnaire with 10 questions per week. Client is answering the questions and assessing his self-assessment of his state. By combining the actigraphy data, which you see on the mobile screen, and obtaining the data from the questionnaire, we are providing, and this is a uniqueness of our solution, unique patented AI algorithm, which is allowing us to provide the appropriate continual long-term process and providing the digital therapeutic solutions by microlearning, where we are combining the digital therapy of cognitive behavior therapy, interpersonal relations, social therapy, and wellness therapy. By using this therapy, we could improve the quality of the life of our patients, if I provide it, for sake of time, very big simplification. This is what the doctor sees on his screen. On the top side, he sees the self-assessment of the patient, how he sees the development of his mood. The red one are mania status, the black one are depression status. Next line is line about the one-time hit of the doctor. This is a visit at the doctor, how the doctor sees the patient. We are talking about 8 months, something like that here. Special events, somebody died, somebody was born, lost the girl, find the girl, any kind of events which could happen in the life of the patient. Plus there is a accumulation of the actigraphy data about the quality of the rest and daily activities of the patient. And below you see the medications. This graph loves our doctors because this is maybe first time in their life that they have a clear long-term visibility of the patient development. We have today the largest EU data set, maybe worldwide, we don't know, but EU definitely, of bipolar biomarkers. Almost 400 patients, more than 2 years, thousands of questionnaires, millions of lines of patient actigraphy data. Not only that, our results were published by JIMIR, the very high-level scientific journal, together with the top clinicians, and we have a field patent for data collection and relapse detection algorithm of our system. What is the market of our solution? It's quite big. We are talking about 260 million users worldwide. We are today addressing only EU and US, but later on we could address the rest of the world as well, but this is about the business development. We know how we want to do the expansion. It means that I will not go to the details, but we have a clear vision what we want to do product-wise, what we want to do certification-wise, what we want to do commercial-wise, and what we want to do territory-wise. We are now in the phase, up till now, we already invested close to $3.5 million, 2.4 in a cash, and another more than $1 million in free work for the company. And we are now looking for the investment for, especially for the area of FDA and DIGA certification, and closing the first contract with the German and US, here is CZ, but US authorities. I will not go to the details of a sales plan. This is not NDA presentation. It means that look to that as a principle. More details about that I could give to anybody under the NDA. We have a clear visibility to our competition. We know that we are on the right market. None of them are in BD, bipolar diseases. Some of them are in MDD. And these companies are in valuations close to $1 billion. Even they have a little bit more than 100 employees and not more than $50 million revenue. And that's a difference because the potential of this market is huge. All of them are quite young. None of them are older than 5 years, 6 years maybe. What are the opportunities? Opportunities are pharma. Pharma invested $800 million to Click. Pharma invested $250 million to Pair. That's a big opportunity for us as well. And another big opportunity is a partnership with telemedicine, which has a huge potential for the future. We have some risk. We have to act very rapidly. The process with DIGA and FDA is quite long term, and we need to create a sales organization in the US, which we need to find the proper partners for that. How we want to mitigate it? We are signing and already in the process the good partner networks. The contracts are signed with Everson, Aspironix, and others. We are signing the first pilots with payers and providers in the US, and we want to do the market access strategy by copying the successful strategies of our competitors. For what we want to use the financing of this round, 90% for FDA and DIGA certification, 10% for starting the commercial expansion, and further reimbursement contracts in Europe. We are in the long-term process of diagnosis expansion. This is covered on our own costs, mostly. How we want to do the business model? 90% through the reimbursement. I think that the majority of revenue is coming with our contracts with insurances. We do not plan to heavily expand in B2C. Our competitors, which did the B2C, collapse or finish with the lower than $100 million valuation. It means that we want to go directly through the reimbursement. Finally, research partnership with pharma will be the major income of the money for this company. We are looking for smart money, for investor who has a good experience in the digital health, somebody who is active in this area, has a trust and integrity, and somebody who is innovative and could think out of the box. Why we? And that's the last slide. We are leader in bipolar and MDD DTX solution, definitely. We are unique by long-term continual process of monitoring pre-diagnostic and therapeutics. We are clinically validated. We have a good support of key opinion clinicians, very senior and experienced team. We could save a huge amount of cost for payers, and we have a clear business plan how to succeed. Thank you very much. This is what the maximum I could do in 10 minutes. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me on my email or my mobile. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Mr. Hrushka. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you find the forum fruitful and engaging. Thank you all for joining us and have a nice day.